This is Goodnight Stories for Rebel Girls.
Hello, Rebels! This is Goodnight Stories for Rebel Girls, the interview. I'm your host, Pacific, and today we're talking to actress Eva Reign. Eva narrated the story of fellow actress, artist, and advocate for transgender equality, Laverne Cox. It's a great episode. If you haven't listened to it yet, go check it out. Hi, Eva. Can you please introduce yourself to our listeners?
Hi, my name is Eva Reign, and I am an actress, journalist, and writer.
When did you know that you wanted to be an actress?
I first discovered my love of acting when I was about 10 years old. One day, a theater group came to my 5th grade class, and they gave us this workshop where we got to learn all about musical theater. So we had workshops in acting, improv, dance, singing, just everything. And I had so much fun doing it. And also, I had a lot of speech problems growing up. I grew up with a stutter, and I had to go to speech therapy for a long time. But when I started acting, I wasn't stuttering anymore. I don't know exactly what did it. I think just being able to perform, that gave me a new sense of confidence. And yeah, I think everyone should find something that brings them confidence.
Do you have a dream role that you'd like to play?
My dream role would be something involving like sci-fi or fantasy. So whether that means being like a Marvel superhero, DC superhero, X-Men, Justice League. I love all of those movies. So hopefully one day you'll see me shooting lasers out of my eyes or flying around. Knock on wood.
That would be so cool! Your film, Anything's Possible, was nominated for an award for its honest storytelling and celebration of trans joy. Can you tell us why it's so important to elevate joyful queer stories?
It's important to elevate joyful queer stories because for years, a lot of the stories about queer and trans people haven't been all that happy. They've been very sad and kind of depressing. But now, the world has grown and evolved to be a place where everyone can see ourselves shown in a positive light. And we're seeing these positive stories that show that being queer and trans is a joyful experience, you know? And that also hopefully will make it easier for more and more future generations to be their truest selves.
You narrated the story of the incredible actress and transgender advocate, Laverne Cox. What does Laverne mean to you?
Laverne's story means everything to me because when I was trying to figure out how I was going to move through this world and what was best for me, Laverne is someone who I looked to. And actually, when I was living in Missouri, I had literally just graduated from high school, and Laverne came to the town that I was living in to speak. And I got a ticket as soon as I possibly could. I showed up to the theater where she was speaking like hours early. I was the first one there. And I got to meet my hero. I even got to talk to her a little bit afterward. Yeah, like that day, that moment that I got to talk to her, that totally changed my life. I'm just happy that she's here to share with the world her story and all of her fierce advocacy because it really is changing lives.
If you could go back to when you were a kid and give yourself a piece of advice, what would it be?
I would just say, you know exactly who you are. You are not wrong for feeling the way that you do. The rest of the world just hasn't quite caught up yet. And if you just give it a little bit more time, everyone will eventually get there. But also, you know, don't be scared to go out and have fun more because the world isn't quite as scary as it might feel at times. There are amazing, amazing people out there, and you just have to be a little bit more patient.
Nice! And now, Eva, what makes you a rebel girl?
I am a rebel girl because I am not afraid to be myself. I'm not afraid to speak my mind. And I think those are two things everyone should do more of. The world tries to tell girls of every walk of life that we have to be quiet, that we have to settle down. But there's another amazing, fierce advocate named Sylvia Rivera who always wanted everyone to be their boldest selves. And that's something I try to do every day when I wake up. That makes me a rebel girl.
I love that. We can all practice being bold and unafraid. Thank you so much for talking to us today, Eva. And thank you for listening. Until next time, keep asking questions and stay rebel. This podcast is a production of Rebel Girls. It's based on the book series, Good Night Stories for Rebel Girls. This episode was produced and directed by Haley Dapkus, with sound design and mixing by John Marshall Media. Script editing by Abby Sher. Joy Smith was our executive producer. Original theme music was composed and performed by Elettra Bargiacchi. A special thanks to the whole Rebel Girls team who make this podcast possible. Until next time, stay rebel!